or, I don't know, something a little bit less than expected. Welcome to my office, and together we are going to be creating some holiday cards, right? So 'tis the season, whether year after year you and your family or friends or loved ones send out a holiday card, maybe with a photo on it or talking about your year, or maybe that's something you've never done before. The holidays are a wonderful time to practice gratitude. When we practice gratitude, research shows us that it actually makes us feel more grateful. So today, here you are in my office, and we're going to practice gratitude together just by sending a well wish to someone else. So you can join me by watching, or if you have pen, paper, honestly, even a phone, and you want to compose a message or create a doodle for somebody special, I welcome the opportunity for us to create together. So I'm going to turn on a little bit of music. Let's see here. And we can go ahead and get started. Oftentimes, and I say this to my kids all the time, I feel like the hardest step is just to start, right? And especially with maybe you're doing something that you've never done before, or maybe you're doing something that you really want to do right, that first step can be so hard. So without a plan for the whole thing, I'm just going to go ahead and get started coloring this little bird. I chose this one because it has a cardinal on it, and one of the gifts I like to give when someone has had a really difficult year is to gift them a cardinal ornament, and to kind of show that out of all of what they've had to deal with this year, something that came out of it, and they came out with their colors, and they came out looking forward to what is to come. So here are my little cardinals. I also chose this one because it's a little bit easier. If you want access to this coloring page or many others, I encourage you to check us out, the Center for Performing Arts Medicine, online, and you can get these holiday cards. There's something that you can do wherever you are, and we distribute them throughout the holiday season. They don't have to have a religious context, or they don't have to say a specific holiday or celebration, but they allow you the opportunity to kind of think about what matters to you. So here I am. Looks like, oh, we got our last little stem, and then I'll show. Okay, so far what I've done is I kind of started with the bright part, right? The cardinal right there. And then I went through and added the twigs. And for the twigs, I just did a very neutral color. Now, thinking of the leaves, I want to do green, but I feel like what I want to do is like mix together a bunch of different greens, because when do we ever look at like a tree or something and it's all like one shade? Even if this is going to be an evergreen, I want it to be evergreens with an S on the end. We're going to make that plural. Some of my favorite memories are, you know, I grew up here in Texas, and then I went away for about 15-20 years, and so I forgot what it's like to have so many trees retain a lot of their leaves for the winter, or at least for the winter, sometimes all the way through after that. And so I was traveling recently with my family, and my kids were just astonished that where are all the leaves on the trees? What has happened? And it's such a good reminder of the things that we might not notice because we see all the time. And I think oftentimes when we're kind of at the end of the year and we're looking at what is to come, or, you know, what will 2026 hold for us, it's nice to take a step back and think about what will 2026 hold for us, but also what are we going to take out of 2025. And one thing I would love to take out of 2025 is just remembering that we don't have to have it all figured out. We don't have to know why some of these berries are blue, probably going to make some of them purple, whatever the different kind of choices or colors, because it's just creating. We all get to create however we want that to. Here you'll see. So I got this just a little pencil sharpener to use so that when I'm creating this, I can have like a really refined point on that. That's not something that you have to do though. It could be absolutely fine whether you're, you know, choosing to color in with, I have colored pencils today, markers. Honestly, you could use a pen, right? And you could just make things very monochromatic, and that would be a great option to try, because there is no right answer. It's just whatever choice you want to make next, right? Here we go. This one's a little bit lighter than I anticipated, so we'll see how those colors kind of come together. And you also may notice, and this one always surprises me, right? Notice when you're starting a different part of a project or whatever it is you're working on, that you realize you've completely skipped over other aspects. And in this example, I completely skipped over some of the leaves. And so what originally, right, we originally wanted to make it where it was kind of nature-like and it has all these different colors. Well, now we get the chance to do that again. And what I'd like to try is finding like a really rich or a dark green. Oh, speak of the devil, right here. This one right here, dark green. And I'll do my last, oh, that's a pretty color. Kind of do my last ones, but I'm also gonna add some of this color on top of the other leaves, right? So that we can see, yeah, a leaf isn't just one color, right? It's not, they're not copy paste all the same, but they may have some kind of different shading in there. You can really tell with the lighter ones. There you go. And I wonder, I'm gonna now, you know, they have the sections that you can obviously tell are supposed to be leaves, right? But there's gotta be more leaves than just that one area. So I'm actually gonna go to the stems of some of these berries and just kind of add a little bit more. Not anything that actually like looks like a leaf, but just like a little extra color or extra dimension to remind all of us that, oh, that there might be like more than what meets the eye. Okay? So here I am, kind of taking a look at it. I'd love to add a little bit more color, but nothing like super bright. More like maybe this dark browny red, and just adding a little bit of dimension to those tree. Here we go. Awesome. Yeah, I really feel like that kind of just like warms it up a little bit. because yesterday I was actually working out of my home office, and I look up and there is this beautiful cardinal right outside my window, but kind of between, like, there was a bush outside the window, so on this side of it, which was a really, like, almost peculiar spot for it to be, makes me think that that cardinal was visiting me for today, giving me a little heads up that we'd be creating something together. So the last section, it's the opportunity for you to spread some cheer, right? Spread some positivity or a nice note. Give yourself a moment to sit and think about what you might want to hear, or how you want to be able to support somebody else, and then write your well wish. Here we go. Just like that. My pen was running out. I guess that means you keep it short and sweet. So in just a few moments, we created this together. Now you'll see there's dotted lines here that direct you on where to fold. So I'm gonna start by folding hamburger style for anybody that learned that way. Here we go. Sarah's same sheet of paper, now just cut in half. Or folded in half, excuse me. And now I will do it again. And here we go. It's just our wonderful little holiday message. I'm feeling a little extra crafty, so I'm gonna take another pen and maybe just decorate this a little bit more. Provide some color. Let someone know that whether we are all together this holiday season or maybe we're someplace else, that we are still, I don't know, creating together. Here we go. I added a little bit of this green, which was a really nice color. And I think now I'm gonna add some of this kind of like goldy yellow color. Just do some curly cues. And I've done some green and I've done some gold. I'm gonna use this, it's almost like a little bit of a rose color. Just add enough to kind of make your eye get drawn to the different colors, but really it's just kind of however you want it. So, thank you for spending a few minutes with me. I so appreciate it, and keep tuning in for more wonderful Center for Performing Arts Medicine content.